So living. All right, thank you. You may be seated. I want to welcome you in to the Greenwood campus. We were at the Greenville campus earlier today. We're here in Greenwood. Want to share just a little bit more of the Word of God. We were talking about, we kind of got to the point of plumbing. And so what I want to deal with us within the second phase is, I've said before, if we think we're broken, then we are broken. Bricks today become the foundation of tomorrow. We had a conversation about sticky, stuck. And so after talking to a couple of people that watch us through social media, I wanted to elaborate on that a little bit. We talked about, I think it was Matthew 12:45, when one spirit comes in, another spirit, it goes out and get other spirits. One of the keys that I think that we tend to not do well in is our own infrastructure. And so I mentioned briefly at the Greenville campus earlier today about leaky plumbing and not having the right infrastructure. Because the infrastructure is something you don't see. But without the infrastructure, without the foundation, very few things can be built, and if they're built, they cannot be sustained. And so I mentioned this in brief about the levels of fixing our own leaky plumbing, because it goes back to, can we see past hope? This is a part of the closing of the circle. Why am I still stuck, sticky, stuck? I said this in Greenville, what has influence over you? And I'll broaden that a little bit, because if it has influence over you, if it's not the right and the positive influence that you need to build your life, you will literally drown by trying to be involved in other things and fix other things and not fix yourself. Amen. It is one thing to tell your children what you want to do and what you want them to do. And it's another thing to be the example for them. And many times the examples for them are not the examples in the house. And where we have, when we talk about the spirits and we talk about David went on and grew great, David knew he had to change his infrastructure. These are the things that people don't see. Here goes the caveat. Can you see past hope? Because what I see is I want to be celebrated. I want to have the cars. I want to have the popularity. I want to have a lot of friends. I want to be accepted. But here's the thing. The infrastructure are the things that people don't see. If you are degreed, you don't walk around or shouldn't walk around with a badge that says, I have a degree. It is a part of your infrastructure. So you have to know it is the things that are not seen that hold the things that are seen together. I'll say it again. It is the things not seen that holds things together that are seen. What are you saying? When you speak, your intellect and the resources that you have learned is what should speak. If you have to brag about your university, it's oftentimes the indication you didn't graduate from the university. Because the substance, the intelligence, if you're a part of an organization, you shouldn't have to always brag and post and put tags on your car about the organization. Your intellect, your integrity, when people talk to you, They should see a person and hear a person of value. Where many people have fallen and failed, we have done this to our children, we've done it to ourselves. We think the more things we have, the better off we are. Things don't make you better. Things just create greater problems and create more issues. So if I have a nice car, if I have a big house, if I wear certain glasses, you know how we do. We want to, and I want you to know, and therefore, and we're constantly trying to show the brand of the eyewear that we're wearing. If you have quality glasses, you don't have to show anybody that you have quality glasses. And so we focus on the exterior and we never build the interior. We focus on the looks. We dress our little girls up, but we don't ever teach them how not to have low self-esteem. We brag about our sons being tall, but we never teach them confidence and integrity. Because when you're sold into things, then you're sold out to your intellect and to your intelligence. So you'd rather have a thing than to have knowledge. And the Bible says above all things. And so David had to stop acting out of his anxiety. He had to stop acting out of his anger. And he literally had to understand what has influence over me. You follow what I'm saying? Yes. See, it's not about celebrating you going to school as it is making sure I finish school. That's right. See, this is where jealousy, and I tell people, if you want to be on the same playing field with everybody else, why are you fighting with your color? Whether you think you're privileged or underprivileged, here's the whole thing. The one that can solve the issue is the one with the knowledge. You worried about the color of your skin? What about the content of your character? You worried about who don't like you? Worry about the information that you have, because the person with the information is the person that will take charge of the room. I have been asked so many times to go get water. And could you get the door, boy? But when I open my mouth, it can bring the room to a halt. I can ask one question. And people tell me all the time, people get mad at me because they say it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. And I've been trying to work on how I say stuff. Y'all pray for me. Am I making sense? What has influence over you? Your past? What has influence over you? Because whatever has influence over you is distracting you from repairing your own plumbing. So you keep leaking. Well, I need to go to school. Well, here's the problem. You have too much pressure on what you're doing, so you can't go to school. You got the same excuse today that you had 5 years ago. And here, I tell people all the time, you don't have to believe in education, but if you look up the statistics, and if you're a brainiac, Google it. Those that have education will outlast those who don't. And those who have education and certifications and entrepreneurship will survive longer than those that just have one thing or no thing. See, working hard, that season is about to play out. I'm dedicated. I've been here 20 years. I tell people all the time, just because you've been there 20 years, making $20, $30 an hour, your next job is not going to pay you what you were making on the job you're on. I still deal with people like that. Well, I need to make $20, I need to make $30 an hour. Here's the problem. You're not going to get that right now. See, we don't understand working the steps of the process. You'll be surprised at the people that are educated that were loading trucks and stacking boxes and working in grocery stores and working drive-through windows. You'll be surprised at the people who are now leading you what they did to get there. You think everywhere you get is the top of the mountain. We don't understand transition. Jose said, my people are destroyed. Because do you know what replaces your knowledge? Is your emotions and what they said. what they doing, what they said, how they treated me, how they acted. Now I can't focus on what I'm supposed to do because I'm all cluttered up. I'm all just full of stupid stuff. I'm all cluttered. I can't even sit down and read a book. I can't even enter school. What kept you out of school when you were 17? What made you quit school was confusion. It's tough. Well, if it was easy, it wouldn't cost so much. It's amazing we can sit around and run our mouth, but we can't sit around and finish that book. We fold entirely too much to our emotions. We're in the month of July, which is supposed to be the month of perfecting. And I still say this, in a new month with an old me. We have to find a new approach to resolving and dissolving the current issues, as well as the past issues. Am I only focused on the moment and not my season or my reason? See, sometimes you're in a perplexed situation, but you never study the reason you're there. You look at the pain, but you never study the behavior that put you there. Y'all don't want to go with me today. I only got 15 minutes, 16 minutes. You don't want, see, we want to talk about the problem, but we don't want to address how the problem came about. Well, this just is not working and nobody's understanding me. Well, what did you do to create confusion? You don't ever want to tell on yourself. Come on, Adam and Eve. I got one good one right here. Blame everybody. I see where you got that from, Josiah. He said, Eli sure did, grandma right here, man. It's always everybody, it ain't never me. It's never me. See, because you're more focused on the situation than the resolution. If there's a problem, you must understand there's a solution and there's a revolution, a resolution, because then if you get a revolution, you can create a revelation. If you can get a revelation, you can create a situation that will change the current situation. The problem is you're too focused on the mice and you're not looking for the rat, because the mice can't birth themselves. They were birthed by a rat. And if you can find the rat, you can stop the mice. But the problem is you're focused on you and you're not seeing the parasites and the diseases that are infecting you. So you're looking at the mice, but you need to find the thing that birthed the mice. Some of y'all need to get the rats out your life. People with bad attitudes and bad behavior, every time you go to them, and the reason you go to them because you're comfortable, because you got light mind, you got depressed, you got upset, you got dysfunctional, you got oh me, myself, and I, and oh my God, I think so. That's the group you hang around. You're uncomfortable with people in transition. You're more comfortable with people in destitute. This is why our church folk don't fit you sometimes, because you want to be around people that's gonna lie because you want to hear a lie. A lie gets you excited. You want to get your head bad so you can sit around and talk stupid. And then wake up, I got a problem. You had that problem last time. You want to get mad and get angry and show out and do you, but then wonder why you can't be in a sustainable, healthy relationship. Because you keep getting mad, want to show out, want to do you, don't want to listen, don't want to be a team player, all about yourself, but you want results. Come on, David. And then when somebody, this is a group you definitely don't want to hang around. Because as you get older, here's what I'm seeing. Whether you're in your 50s, whether you're in your 40s, whether you're in your 30s, you get to a place and you get new leadership, new management, and they go through the HR files and find out that you're not qualified to be in that position. So then they decide to move you. And here's what they're really saying. If you didn't take the time to invest in yourself, why should I continue to pay you when you're limited in your resources? Well, on my other job, I was making $40. I was getting a bonus. That was then. This is now. What are your credentials to be in the place that you want to be? Okay, I see this not going over well. But it's okay. I'm going to finish it. I've got 14 minutes. Because here's the thing. Did you invest in your education, in your skill set, and your relationship with God? Why is that critical? Because many people go to church and listen to preachers and listen to people to only receive the benefits and never embrace the responsibility. So if I go to church, oh yeah, the Lord, I'm the Lord's child. You're going to get the house, you're going to get the car, you're going to get a job. Here's the point. Can you keep it? Can you maintain it? And can you handle it? Because many times what you pray for becomes your next burden. Because you don't have the bandwidth to handle what you're asking God for. Oh Lord, I want another child. I want another child. I want this. You can't handle the two. Oh, I almost said something, Jesus. You can't handle the two at the house. But you go on another one. Because you like the attention. You never wanted to be a mother. You never wanted to be a father. You just wanted to have children and say, oh yeah, I got some boys. They're going to go to the NBA. They're going to go to the NFL. But why you go to the NFL? You know, money don't replace ignorance. I know that didn't go over well. Money does not replace ignorance. You can have money and still be ignorant. See, we think money and things, all that's doing is putting stuff in the front of the house when the pipes are still leaking in the house. And if you wait long enough, you will see the pipes leak, because corruption don't start from the outside. Corruption starts from the inside. You get a cut. You don't get an infection on the outside. You get an infection and see, we keep worried about, well, how they look at me and how I look today, and you know, do they understand who I am and where I'm from? Don't look. You're gonna be in a body bag like everybody else. At some point, they're gonna come by the nursing home, your mansion, in your car, and you're gonna be in a body. They don't have a rich body bag and a poor body bag and a middle class body bag. If you keep living, we all gonna ride the gurney. So just because they took you out the side door rather than the back door, that's a difference. You still caught a ride. See, because we keep recycling the same old things, the same old behaviors, same attitude, new place, same dysfunction, lack of focus, lack of discipline. But you want change. But you don't want to be committed to the foundation of change. I want a title, but I don't want responsibility. I want better pay, but I don't have a better skill. Because many people today are still walking around like somebody owed them something. And the enemy in your mind is greater than the enemy on the outside. Because you can never see the infection that is created. So you think everyone else is a problem, but you never see yourself. Because when you see yourself, then here's what we fall into. We fall into victim mode. And start singing the song, somebody done me wrong. Today's bricks sets up tomorrow's foundation. Can you see past hope? This is why Mark 3 and 25 is so critical. If you are divided against yourself, you will fail. It doesn't matter how you fix yourself up, male or female. It doesn't matter what you get and what you obtain. What you're doing is you're doing what we call the great cover-up. You're talking about things. You're not talking about you. You're not talking about your personal development. Because that car, that job, that title, that spouse, that house, that watch, those are things. How do you stand in the eyes of God? Mark 3:25 talks about if you are divided. And I said this before, know that there is a difference between what you think and what you say. Because the enemy gets between your thoughts and your thinking. And the Bible says, if a house, which means you have a choice. If you are cursing multiple times a day, you have the root of bitterness, of unresolved issues. And so what we do the great cover up. We try to cover up the pain. We try to cover up the things. So you have a lot of activity, but you have little to no productivity. This is where people fall out with me. It's because I look at productivity. I don't look at activity. You can be busy. Oh, I'm going here. I've got to do this, and I'm going here. Oh, I had just a wonderful time. What you're doing is you're running away from your own nightmare. Because you don't want to deal with you. And you don't, and everything is broke but you. Everybody is broken but you. You need to look you in the mirror and says, I have some pipes that are loose. And stop lying to yourself. You cannot fix you. And hanging around new people with the same old you, you're hanging around people that are worse than you, because nobody in the pot, at the bottom of the pot, can lift anybody up. Amen. See, here's what people don't get. The people in the bottom of the pot, they pull down the people that's trying to get up, because they're in the bottom of the pot. So you get around things that you're comfortable with because there's no expectation out of you. And when you come to this ministry, whoever you are, there is an expectation, because there was no reason for Jesus to die and you still be a buckethead. Yes, I said it. Amen. But Jesus hung on the cross. I'm still having issues. You're not looking at the solutions. You're in love with the problem. You're not looking for resolution. You're looking for empathy, sympathy. You're looking for somebody to pet you and tell you how great you are. You don't read the scripture where God told the man, oh, Jesus, I've been here at the pool, Lord. I've been here 38 years, Jesus. And the angel done come down and troubled the water. And Jesus looking at him, you've been here 38 years. Let me say it, 38 years. Not 38 years, 38 years. And everybody done beat you to the pool, then you got a behavior problem of being late. If you've been at the gate and can't walk, when you saw the angel or looked like the angel was coming, you should have slid in the pool. While everybody was asleep, you could have slid in the pool. In fact, since you can't move, you should have just made your house in the pool. But instead, you built your house upon excuses. Lord, I've been here 38 years, Jesus, and wasn't nobody help me get in the pool. You could have rolled in the pool. But you didn't. Because you rather make excuses than create opportunity. You rather see things sideways. Because some of y'all got a sideways kind of spirit in you. Everything somebody say, you see it sideways. They don't know nothing about me. No, the truth is you leaking on the inside. And you're contaminating yourself because you keep lying to yourself. See, feeling bad about yourself don't create a positive result for yourself. Amen. Always a victim. Always a victim. Always what was, never what is. And you think changing partners is going to change your life. There was no need for Jesus if material things could change our life. The problem is we don't want our lives changed. We want to look like success rather than live success. Yes. Because see, know that there's a difference between what you think and what you say. Because what you think is interrupted by your thoughts. And if the enemy can infect your thoughts, we have leaky pipes. Then you will think something, but you'll say something in order to make people feel good rather than tell them the truth or tell the truth about yourself. You'll make excuses. So then what you say is never what you plan to do. This is when I need my kids. Mama said she was going to take us to the store. You ain't went to the store yet. My mother used to tell me all the time, and you can take this to Lavinia. Oh, y'all can go catch the city bus. Never would take us up there to catch the city bus. City bus done come and gone. Y'all can go to town, because we were poor. We didn't know we were poor. But we were poor, catch the bus, put our little quarter in it, ride uptown, walk down to Woolworth, get us a little cheeseburger, sit in there, right, walk our feet, you know, and then catch the bus back home. Mama wouldn't even take us up there to the bus. She'd tell us that you could go catch the bus and go downtown. Out of 60 times, may have gotten downtown twice. Because listen, let me tell you something that you don't know. When people change their voice, you don't know who they are. Oh, hello, hi, how are you? I used to look at my mama when she... Who's that woman on the phone? That woman on the phone was about to hit me in the head with a frying pan. Now she answering the telephone. Hello? You're like, who? That's a different person. Because what you said is not what you're doing. You're speaking in a different tone as a different person, but that's not the person who has a frying pan in one hand and the telephone in the other hand and said, hello, hi, how are you? Oh, yes, this is the lady of the house. How can I help you? Kids looking confused. Your kids is like, she just cussed us out. She was in the corner choking you. And now she's answering the phone. Hello, the House of Reconciliation. How can we help you today? You're like, who is that on the phone? Because what you say is not what you do. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that. It's still in the refrigerator. 2 years later, it has grown a family in the back of the refrigerator. Why the house nasty? Why your room nasty? Anybody want to talk to me now? Because what you think is not what you say, and what you say is not what you do, and what you do is different than what you really mean. Well, let's get together. Oh yeah, sure, we can do that. Let's do that on Thursday. You somewhere all dressed up, all buttoned up, ready to go on Thursday. And the person don't even remember. Come on, somebody, I'm getting ready to close. They don't even remember. And then when you remind them, I told you that? I said I was gonna call you. Come on, let's say the famous one. Oh, I've been busy. Am I making sense? Yes. This creates confusion. This creates recycling old things and old behaviors. Same attitude, different response. Lack of focus and lack of discipline. I'll close on this and pick this up on Wednesday. It's like putting in a new sink. You buy new clothes, you get new things, you get a new car, you get a new job, you get a new watch, you get a new hairdo, you get a new haircut, but ain't nothing really changed. So it's like taking a sink and putting it in a house and not repairing the plumbing. So you got a beautiful sink. You dressed up to go to work and you're still undereducated. So we have to stop putting in new things to think they'll cover old behaviors. We got to stop putting in and acting like something new is better than something sustainable, because all we're doing is putting in a new sink. Does not change the fact that we still have bad plumbing. God bless you. I will see you on Tuesday.